Thank you for joining Stretch and Flow with Rashi. We hope you enjoy this class. Don't forget to subscribe.
Good morning, everyone. Rashi from Stretch and Flow. It is good morning and it is a morning routine, as it were. I thought I'd pop this up because it's something that I do every day, and I notice the difference when I practice this every day as opposed to when I don't practice it. So it's just a really good way for me to start my day, to fully ground, to clear my mind, to not feel overwhelmed by the day, particularly if you do have a busy day. And there's that, funny saying that people say, I don't have time to do this in the morning, I don't have time to sit and meditate. And the answer to that is, well, do you have time to feel like rubbish? So I really encourage you to try, and not just to do it as a one-off, but to consistently try for a week, 2 weeks, and eventually it just becomes part of your daily routine. Obviously the clip is going to take a bit longer than it actually would because of the recording and me talking. So really you can do this in 5 minutes, you can do it in 10 minutes, maximum half an hour if you have the time. So anybody can do this with whatever time they have. And I encourage you just to get up half an hour earlier because it really does make a difference to your day. So this is what I do in the morning. I have my alarm set. Often my eyes just wake up automatically now. And the first thing that I do is I make a cup of tea. If a cup of tea isn't your jam, then a drink, a warm water. And I always have my cup of tea, and then I just sit. So sometimes it might be I might actually go back to bed and do that. More often than not, I'll just either sit outside or I'll sit on the lounge. Sometimes I'll come in here and I'll sit on my mat. I journal. If that resonates with you, then I encourage you to journal. And there's no wrong or right with journaling. Some days for me, I'll write pages and pages, and I usually spend about 5 minutes, sometimes more, sometimes less. And some days I pick up my journal and I don't really know, nothing comes through to me. And what I'll do then is simply just write a word down, and it might be a word of how I want to show up in that day, how I want to feel, or it might be like a mantra, like I am calm, I am at peace, I am at ease. So there's no wrong or right with journaling. If your head is full, then sometimes just write out whatever's going on in your mind, and that can help empty the mind and bring clarity. If journaling isn't your jam, then just speak out what you want for your day, an intention as it were, or just sit with your cup of tea and just simply enjoy your cup of tea. So these are all little tools. You can pick and choose whatever you want to pop in your toolkit. After that, I usually have my cup of tea. I haven't finished it yet. And I'll just sit and I'll just do some breath work. So I'll guide you through a couple of breaths, and I've kept it really simple just for ease so that it's accessible to everyone. So you can either sit on your bed, you can sit in a chair, you can sit on the floor in your mat, you can sit outside. This can be done anywhere. So just sitting up nice and tall, relaxing through the shoulders. You might even just want to shrug them up and shrug them down. Jiggle the sit bones around wherever you're sitting. You don't have to sit cross-legged. You can be sitting on a chair or legs in front. Place one hand on your heart and one on your belly. Soften through the shoulders. Shut the eyes down and imagine someone's just got a thread and is lifting you up gently through the crown of the head. So you're sitting up with a pride, but there's a softness to the shoulders and the neck, the backbone. The front ribs aren't popping out. If you feel they are, just gently soften them in. Just notice the breath to start with, without trying to force anything. You're just simply noticing your inhale and exhale. For a lot of us, we shallow breathe, so we don't take in the inhale fully and we don't exhale fully, which is breathing in the upper part of our body rather than all the way down to your belly. So just placing the hands where they are, the palm for the heart connection, and the belly really to really feel the breath, so you're breathing deeply. So all we're going to do is inhale for a count of 1, 2, 3, and then exhale for 1, 2, 3. Inhale for 1, 2, 3. Exhale for 1, 2, 3. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. So perhaps do that for the next 10 rounds of breath. And as you're just doing your count, just notice how when you breathe in, the belly pulls away from the palms, almost like you're really taking a big inhale to bring the belly button to the spine. And then notice how you exhale. Once you exhale fully, that belly just fills that bottom palm up again. Just as you're taking your 10 rounds of breath, just notice the subtle upliftment in the crown of the head on the inhale, and then the subtle dropping down of the sit bones and the tailbone on the exhale. With the hands placed where they are, just noticing the diaphragm moving up and moving down, how the ribs expand and then contract again. Also just notice if the mind is getting pulled in different directions. And then use that breath as an anchor. So completing the last one together, inhale for 1, 2, 3. Exhale for 1, 2, 3. And then gently just blinking a few times as you open the eyes. Shrug the shoulders up to the ears and gently just drop them back down again. Maybe one more like that, breathing in and then breathing out. And generally, once I practice that, usually for about 2 to 5 minutes maximum, I usually feel the settling, especially if I'm feeling overwhelmed about the day when I've woken up. So my cup of tea, my journaling, and then a breath exercise. And then I'll just show you another breath, and you don't have to do both of these, you can just pick and choose. Over the next few videos or clips, I'll try and incorporate some other breathing practices. So it's almost like a recipe that you can just pick and choose whatever you want for that day. So the other breath is sometimes called a box breath, where we inhale, we pause, and then we exhale. And I'll use the count of 3 again. Like with the previous breath and this breath, you can increase or decrease the count. So if you want, or if you feel that you can breathe, inhale for a count of 4 or 5, and exhale for a count of 4 or 5, then do that. Or if you want to shorten it, you adjust it to your own breath cycle. And over a period of time, as you practice this daily, you might find that you can lengthen the breath. So we'll keep seated. Again, you can do this on your bed or a chair. You can do it lying down if you want to. I prefer sitting up. So sitting up nice and tall, just letting the shoulders relax, softening the front ribs in. And just place the hands in a way that feels comfortable, so there's no tension in the shoulders at all. Sometimes just placing a little towel or something to rest your hands on can just let the shoulders and arms relax a little. Some people might have their hands just over the knees, whatever feels comfortable for you. So get into that posture. Again, shutting the eyes down. That just helps us maintain a little bit more focus, takes away this one sense of vision. Just notice the regular breath first, so the inhale and the exhale. Notice if you can just sit up a little taller so you're not slouching, but with a softness. And we're just going to inhale for 1, 2, 3. Hold the breath, pause for 1, 2, 3. And then fully exhale for 1, 2, 3. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Pause, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Pause, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. So just practice that for the next 8 to 10 breath cycles. If you feel to lengthen the count or shorten the count, then go ahead. And again, noticing the different sensations in the body on the inhale and the exhale, that upliftment and then the dropping down again on the exhale. Notice if any of the parts of the body are tensing up, so particularly the shoulders and the neck. Also the jaw, sometimes we can just tighten our jaw a little. So just let the tongue hang behind the bottom palate as you take those 3-part box breaths. If you feel the body slouching, just gently bring that upliftment through the crown of the head with the softness. And again, if the mind starts to travel to the next part of your day, especially if you've got a busy day, then just bring it back gently to the breath. And often by counting the breaths, it just brings our mind to the now, so it doesn't drift off to the next part of your day or revert back to what happened yesterday. So the counts are helpful in keeping us present. Let's do one more together. So inhaling for 1, 2, 3. Pause, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. Just let the breath enter and leave in your normal breath cycle. And then blinking the eyes a few times, letting that light filter in. Just notice how you're feeling just with those 2 breath patterns. Should feel pretty grounded, steady. When the breath is steady, so too is the mind. So I encourage you to practice those. And then I usually just do a bit of light stretching. If I have time, I'll do a little bit more. But if you don't have time and you've only got half an hour that you can give or 20 minutes, then just moving all parts of your body are really good. I'll show you a few little stretches. Sun salutations are really good just to wake up the whole body and get it moving, because often, you know, we've been lying in the bed for 7 to 8 hours and our body gets stiff. So if we don't start to move it, you know, get the circulation going, get the digestive system going, it's really beneficial just to do some light stretches in the morning. So you can do as much of this or as little of this as you have time for. I'll just take you through a very quick 5-minute stretching exercise that I do in the morning. And sometimes I shorten it, sometimes I'll lengthen it. So let's come into a seated posture. Just shrug the shoulders up to the ears on the breath in and take a rotation backwards. Inhale, shoulders come up. Exhale to rotate back. One more. Breathing in and letting the breath go. On the breath in, reach the arms all the way up. The first stretch of the day, the gaze can follow. As you exhale, firm pressure in the palms as you bring the hands to your heart space. Just do a couple more like that. So feel the stretch across the arms as you reach all the way up. The gaze can go up, a little stretch in the neck. And as you exhale, hands to your heart space, firm pressure. Feel the arm muscles switch on. One more like that. Breathing in to reach all the way up. And breathing out all the way back down. On the breath in, reach the arms up, but perhaps a gentle back bend, so we're starting to open up the heart. And on the breath out, left hand in front, right hand behind. We're taking a twist. So on the breath in, you're lengthening, keeping the jaw soft. And on the breath out, twisting and gazing over that right shoulder. Another breath in to lengthen. And as you breathe out, twisting round. So this is starting to stimulate that digestive system, ready for your breakfast. Everything comes back round to center. The arms are reaching all the way up and over. And as you exhale, right hand in front, left hand behind. Lengthening first on the breath in. And as you breathe out, turn and gaze over that left shoulder. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to twist. Bring everything all the way back to center. Reach the arms all the way up. Take a big stretch. And then we're making our way onto all fours. So hands and knees. Knees are roughly hip width apart. Palms are shoulder width apart. And really mobilizing the spine. That can get a little bit stiff. So first just take a gentle rock of the hips. So notice how they're feeling. Sometimes we can store our tension in our hip flexors. And then taking some big circles. So dropping the hips back to the heels all the way around to one side, over to the palms. All the way over to the other side. Take a couple one way, just noticing how the body's feeling. And then just flip and take a couple the other way. Just starting to wake the body up, but in a gentle, compassionate way. Coming back to a neutral spine, and now to mobilize the spine. So cat-cow curls are great for this. On the breath in, the waist goes back and the gaze goes up. And on the breath out, rippling the spine up. Almost like you're bringing that belly button to the backbone, rounding and arching. Breathing in, the waist goes back and the gaze goes up. And as you breathe out, rounding and arching. Let's do 3 more. Inhaling in. And exhaling out. Keeping your spine nice and healthy is so important. This stimulates just all that juicy spinal fluid, which is just so nourishing for your backbone. 1 more. Breathing in. Try and not tense the shoulders up. And letting the breath go. Coming back to a neutral spine. Spread the finger mounds wide. You can either stay on all fours if that feels better. If you want a deeper stretch of the spine, come into downward facing dog. So pushing the hips up towards the ceiling, bending the knees as much as you need to, and then see how the legs are feeling. Those calf muscles might be stiff from lying in bed. So just walking one knee in and then the other knee. If downward facing dog is not accessible for you, or you're feeling a little tired or you're healing in your wrists, come down onto your mat and take puppy pose. So spreading the finger mounds to the edges of the mat and then pushing the chest down and the hips up towards the ceiling will still get you a nice stretch of the spine. 1 more breath here. So downward facing dog or puppy pose. And then if you're in downward facing dog, lift the heels up, come onto your tippy toes and take a gentle walk up towards your palms. If you're in puppy pose, you can meet us here. So sometimes the lower back gets a little stiff during the night. So bend the knees a lot for your first one. So you're taking any tension off the lower back. And as we do some sun salutations, you might find that that lower back will just ease up and the stiffness will disappear. On the breath in, a halfway lift, a nice flat back. And on the breath out, a forward fold as you empty the breath. On the inhale, ground with the feet and reach up with the arms, a big stretch. And on the exhale, bring the hands to your heart space as you empty the breath. Inhale, the arms reach all the way up and over. And as you exhale, take a swan dive down to your mat. A halfway lift, a nice flat back. A forward fold as you empty the breath. 2 more rounds. Breathing in to reach all the way up. Breathing out to your heart space as you empty the breath. Inhale to reach up and over. And as you exhale, down to your mat. A halfway lift, a nice flat back. A forward fold as you empty the breath. 1 more. Breathing in, perhaps reaching up a little taller. Breathing out to your heart center. Inhale to reach up and over. And as you exhale, down to your mat. A halfway lift, a nice flat back. And this time as you exhale, placing the hands on the mat, stepping down either into a seated posture, cross-legged, or whatever feels comfortable for you. And just so we don't forget all parts of the body, let's get into the sideways. So place the left hand on the ground, breathe the right arm up, take a big breath in. As you breathe out, bring that right arm over to the left, bending that left elbow. Inhale to reach up, we'll do 1 more. Exhale to take the stretch. Inhale, the right arm comes up, the left arm comes to meet it. Take a big breath in as you breathe out all the way to your heart space. Right hand drops down onto the mat, the left arm reaches up, take a big breath in. As you breathe out, take the stretch to the right, bending that right elbow. Inhale to reach up again. Exhale, taking the stretch. Inhale, the left arm comes up, the right arm comes to meet it. Bring it all back to your heart space on the exhale. Shut the eyes down. Take a deep inhale in through the nose. A big letting go sigh out the mouth. 2 more like that. Breathing in. Let the breath go. 1 more. Inhaling in, soften the shoulders and the jaw. Exhaling out. Before we finish, set an intention, if you haven't already, in your journaling of how you want to show up for the day. How you want to show up to yourself first and then the rest of the world. Narrow it down to 1 or 2, 3 words. As you take your next inhale and exhale, just seal it within your own mind and your own heart. Another breath in. Let the breath go. And let your day be full of blessings and full of abundance. And may you stay true to the intention that you set. Namaste. So just a simple morning routine. Again, take whatever resonates, mix it up a little bit. If you've only got 5 minutes, then do your breath work or have a cup of tea and be totally present while you have it, and maybe jot a few things down in a journal. I hope that's helpful. Feel free to contact or message me if you've got any questions, and give me feedback on if you want any other videos of little tools or clips of things that you're struggling with and tools to help you. But for now, have a great morning, have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
Thank you for joining us for Stretch and Flow with Rashi. We hope you've enjoyed the class. Please subscribe and make sure if you have any questions, please send an email, get in touch some way. Once again, thank you and have a great day.